Hello, everybody. Happy April 6, 2020. My name is Christopher Saunders, and this is another edition of the Connecticut Sports Talent Show. Today, we have a special guest. Although he's not from Connecticut, he did play for the Bristol Blues, so he still counts as a Connecticut product in some ways. Christian Seelhorst. Buddy, it's always a pleasure to be able to talk with you.
Pleasure to be here. I mean, obviously, it'd be better off if I was face to face in Connecticut with you, but obviously, with this whole quarantine thing, it's kind of tough. But I'm glad I got to speak with you tonight.
I appreciate it. We had a lot of conversations, before you left because I know with the whole Tommy John, which we'll talk about, you had an innings restriction. But before we get into that, how are you dealing with the quarantine? I know you mentioned to me prior to coming on that you're just trying to do anything to be able to keep yourself in shape.
So me and my buddies actually we're building an at-home gym. We went to Home Depot today and we ended up picking up some wood to build a squat rack. And one of my mom's friends actually lent us a bar for us to deadlift, squat, whatever, and some weights up to like 300 pounds. So I mean, I've been getting my work in as far as that goes, and we have some community fields that are still open that we're lucky to get on and whatnot, to get our throwing done and make sure that our arms stay in shape just in case summer ball does happen or train for the fall. I actually had posted on Instagram for people locally in the Pittsburgh area. We're trying to get a game together. We actually have 35 people.
I saw that.
35 people now to get this game together. It's probably going to take place after Easter at a kind of a private field so that no neighbors are like, oh, there's 35 people here. But yeah, we have guys that range from Division III, Division II, up to high-end D1 guys in the Pittsburgh area that reached out to me to play this game. So I'm excited for that. I mean, we only played a couple games this spring and whatnot, but just to go out there and have fun, be a kid, and throw the baseball around and see all this talent put together, and I think it's pretty cool.
Now, was that an idea that you came up with as far as getting all these people, or was that something that you kind of just threw out with a bunch of your friends and then one thing led to another?
I mean, I kind of just like one day we were throwing at the field and I was like, why don't we get a game together? Like, I know too many people. My friends are like, everywhere we go, Seelhorst knows somebody. Like, we'll go to Cedar Point in Sandusky, Ohio, which is like 3.5 hours away from home. Those Seelhorst is talking to somebody who knows. Or like if I would go to Connecticut or New Hampshire, I'll happen to run into someone I know. It happens everywhere I go.
You're just a likable guy. What can I say?
Yeah, that's all that it is. I mean, so I ended up putting it on Instagram, and I had about 8 people respond at first, and they're like, I have about 8 guys. I was like, all right. And the other guy's like, I have about 5. And ended up being like 35 guys later. I was like, okay, I think we should stop right there, even though we have about 17 pitcher onlys. But we can play right field. We're athletes too.
Yeah, you'll be fine. Well, hopefully you're able to, get that game going and, get a lot of people. And let's hope that the weather can be nice at least, But let's, fast forward a little bit to your Tommy John surgery. I did not have an opportunity to talk with you about it with your time with the Blues, so I thought this would be a perfect time. What was your experience like when you found out that you tore your UCL? And for people who don't know, that's the ulnar collateral ligament. And during what is a very rigorous process of getting back on the mound, it tests you mentally and physically. So just talk with people who may not know what Tommy John is about the experience.
So Tommy John is the ulnar collateral ligament, which is located right here within your elbow. And so I was about 17 at the time whenever it happened. We were playing in a base tournament in Columbus, Ohio. And I actually threw a complete game no-hitter as my last game before I blew out. It was actually a 60 pitches, 7-inning game, no-hitter. It was the craziest thing. It was the craziest thing that ever happened because, like, my fastball kept rising, but, like, it would rise last second. They'd swing right through it or pop it up. And I was like, felt like I had nothing behind the baseball. And then 2 days later, we had our championship game, and I was long tossing just to, like, do recovery and whatnot, and I felt a pop in my elbow, and like the ligament just like felt like it slung forward, and I started walking in. My throwing partner, he was like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I think I just blew out." So I didn't really tell anyone for about a week or so. Didn't do anything baseball wise, and then got an MRI, got it checked out. Had surgery 2 weeks later. Probably the most painful pain I've ever been in. Obviously, the first 2 days I don't really remember too much because they put me on a lot of pain meds. But the third day was definitely the worst pain I'd ever experienced in my life. You kind of like just stuck here and shooting pain up your elbow. But I mean, going through like the whole recovery process, it was definitely worth it because I was able to come back and play the game that I love, obviously. But like it comes with some ups and some downs that I go through every day. I mean, a lot of my friends kind of make fun of me for it, but at the same time, it's like it kind of hurts. I mean, because they never really went through the same thing I did. So I mean, overall, like the best thing is I'm back. I'm healthy. There's no pain there, and I'm throwing a lot harder. Before surgery, I was like 82, 85, now I'm 90, 92, 93. I've been struggling with is the mental part of the game, and as far as being consistent and throwing strikes. Ever since the Tommy John, that's been my biggest issue as a pitcher, which kind of converted me from a starter to a reliever, which I'm all right with as long as I'm able to get back out there and compete. But my biggest thing is my mental game needs to be a little bit better. I wish I would have done a little bit more in the recovery process, but overall, I mean, that's the one thing I think I could work on to make myself improve myself to get the next level as far as the mental game.
And you found yourself to be able to at least get back both mentally and physically enough to be able to pitch for the Blues. And your first appearance, I don't know, I'm sure you remember this. You pitched a 1-2-3 inning. Good memory.
I do remember that. And I think the next game was against Brockton, maybe.
And that, I think, was that the game that you walked? Well, I don't know if you walked, but I remember you put yourself in a bases loaded situation, and then you struck out the next two guys.
Yeah, yep. I remember that vividly because it was.
You did your classic jump after. I remember when you struck out the last batter. It was a 3-2 pitch. Yep.
Because Judy started the game. He pitched real well, and I came in. The bases were loaded with one out, and it was a 3-0 count. And I was like pounding strikes, and the umpire was just squeezing me. And I threw 3 straight past guys, swing, 2 outs, and then it got to 3-0 again, swing. I was all amped up, and I just see Judy running in from the bullpen and just picking me up over his shoulder, hype, and that's kind of like how me and Judy kind of like got our friendship down. I mean,
now who is great. Judy?
James Dudenis.
Okay, just for people who may not know who that, I know who he is, but people may not know. James Dudenis pitches for Hartford. I called him the Jacob deGrom of the Blues because he had the flow. He had the lettuce.
He had the flow. Yeah, I liked it. So yeah, I mean, there's still ups and downs. I mean, I know I have good stuff, good pitches. It's just a matter of fact putting it all together and being more effective when I'm out there on the mound, throwing more strikes, getting more swing and misses on closer pitches. Like, wow, I made a really good pitch, but I also just threw 3 high and away, and then I come back with a 3-1 slider away that he should bite on, but it's 3-1 instead of 0-2, 0-1. Stuff like that.
Well, I just think, being able to watch you during your time with the Blues, it seemed like your confidence from, appearance to appearance would either, you could kind of tell early on if you were on or you were off. But I will admit, even if your command was off, you grinded. You didn't give up and just say, okay, I don't have it. I'm just going to be, PO'd and just throw fastballs. You tried to find yourself, you try to get yourself out of those jams. And I think going forward, depending on however long you end up pitching, I think that can bode well for you because it shows that even when your stuff is not good, that you can grind it out.
Yeah, I mean, I exactly remember vividly. We were playing the Pittsfield Suns in my last appearance, and I had nothing. I pitched the day before against Worcester. We lost like 15-2. I had pitched brilliantly the day before, and against Pittsfield, all I had was my fastball, but they knew it was coming. So then I started trying to be too fine with my fastball. I was like, screw it. I was like, we'll start throwing curveballs. Like I didn't have in the bullpen, didn't have in pre-game and whatnot, and then actually ended up striking out their catcher. I forget where he goes to school at, but on a 3-2 curveball where I was pounding fastballs the whole count, and then I came with a curveball. It was like Sam Loda. He's like, he put it down. I was like, I never shake my catcher off because I'm like, I trust him. I was like, we're going curveball with this? Screw it. I thought it was, I literally in my head, I thought it was a 2-2 count. I was like, all right, yeah, curveball, let's do it. I go back, watch the video, it was a full count. I'm like, really, Sam? I haven't thrown a curveball all day. You make me throw, and then I got my confidence right back. I mean, I gave up a run early on because they knew fastball was coming. So, but then I got the next two guys out real quick and ended the inning. We were down like 4-2, and then come back and I think winning the ball game.
Now we do have a couple minutes left. There's one more question I want to ask you before we end this, this interview. And once again, thank you, Seelhorst, for being able to take some time out to be able to talk. What was the one thing with Bristol that you can take away feeling like it could be something that either you learned, maybe it was a experience, something that you can carry with you for the remainder of your baseball career, but also in life as well?
I guess like two things. I learned both from the Hartford boys, two different things. So James Udenis and Will Nowak. Will, I learned how you attack a hitter. You don't care at all. You don't care if he's the best or he's the Adley Rutschman of a team. Like it does not matter. He went up there this past summer. I saw even in the school season last year. He didn't care. He was like, I'm coming out with my best stuff, and that's what's happening. And then I think every time he pitches, like he pitches with a boatload of confidence, and that's why he's very effective. And that's how I've been trying to model myself after. But I think going on the flip side of it to life, James Udenis, I think he really carries himself in a really good way. I mean, you should have seen how like the fans and like little kids would react to how he was as a person, and like I kind of like was like, wow, like he's a really good dude. Like everyone likes him. Like that's how I want to like go out the rest of my life. Like I want people to be like, Seelhorst, that kid's really good. Like I really want to talk to him. Like pick up the phone one day, call me for like 2-3 minutes, be like, hey Seal, how are you doing? Like everything all right? You still goofy as hell as usual? And I'm like, yeah, still playing baseball. I hope my answer is yes, but that's to be determined. That's not my call. Just got to keep grinding. But a lot of people back home always give me crap for my little fist pump and like the overhead thing. But
I like it.
I think it builds character. Worcester didn't like it, but I think it builds character.
Who cares about Worcester? Trust me. Who cares?
Yeah,
but
exactly.
Hey, thanks so much, Seelhorst, for being able to take some time. And you know what? Keep your head up. Keep working. I truly believe, you put yourself past the Tommy John thing. Just keep working hard. I think there's a bright future ahead. Just keep your head, eye on the prize, eyes focused.
Sounds good. Thank you very much. And nice seeing you like always.
Always.
Stay safe.
I appreciate it. Now,
no problem.
Make sure, because our next episode, we're going to have another former Blue, Mark Fiello, will be making a special appearance. Yep. So you better make sure, Seelhorst, you better watch that episode.
I will. Hey, tell him stay huge. Big biceps.
Have a good one, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your day.